Hey everybody, RockPaperMario here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy X. In the last part, we were glad we crashed the wedding. Like that Busted song, or is it Busted? Or is it McFly? It's like, well, maybe it's McBusted, who knows? But in this part, we're gonna take on the Bevelle Cloister of Trials. The oft-maligned Bevelle Cloister of Trials, actually, if I must say so. Because this is like a cloister that a lot of people don't seem to like. They seem to find it very, very complicated and quite challenging. It seems, or quite annoying or something. To be honest, I've never really had an issue with this one. I don't mind it as much as the Macarena Cloister of Trials. It can be a bit of a mind fuck, I guess, the first time you do it, but I think for me, I kind of ingrained in my memory what you have to do. So much that, well, actually, there's not a lot to remember really, but I think I just kind of like committed it to memory back in the day, so I don't really have that much trouble with it, to be honest, anymore. Like, pretty much the way that I remember how to do it is you go all the way down to the bottom. There really isn't that much that you do at the bottom, because what you're talking about here is like kind of 3 tracks that are like parallel with each other on different levels. There's like the third one on the bottom, the second one in the middle, and the first one right on top where you start. And really and truly, the way that I kind of remember how to do it, and probably the reason why this will be the only Cloister of Trials I don't fuck up, like of all things, I have so much trouble with I think it was the Kilika Cloister of Trials or the Jose one or something were like the ones that gave me the most trouble. And then the most difficult ones, obviously, because you tell yourself, oh, they're the most complicated ones, they're the most difficult ones, they're the ones that you remember how to do. But like, basically, now we're finished with the third level. We never go to the third one ever again. Now we're on the second level, so we just go back up to the first one. And the thing is, what we're going to do is we're going to stay on the first level until we have our shit done, and then we're never going to go back to the first level ever again either. So I just need to make sure I get this right, to be honest. So that's so there's no point in going down there. Basically what happens if you go off the edge of a rail, you just go right back to the start of that rail or track or whatever you want to call it. So pretty sure what we want to do first here is we want to go to this one. And really, as I say, it's not that complicated. Like, we'll be finished with level 1 soon enough. The one thing that I still don't know about this one, which I still don't really understand, is that there are actually like 2 chests in this one. As far as I know, it's like the only Cloister of Trials that has 2 chests in it. Like, normally there's only like 1, and you need oh my god, the television's telling me it's gonna turn off. Why you gotta do me like that? Okay, I'm doing something. Press OK. How do I select OK? I did something anyway. It's like the television doesn't believe that I'm using it or something. So yeah, normally there are only like 2. There's only like 1 chest in any Cloister of Trials, and it's the one that you need the Destruction Sphere to get. So let's see if I can go back again. Yeah, there we go, because that's actually like faster than going off the edge. And really, it's not rocket science. Like, you just press X when the arrow is facing the direction you want to go in, or whatever. But this Cloister of Trials actually has 2. It actually has 2 chests, right at the end. And the funny thing is that you actually, like, the Destruction Sphere is pretty much optional in the normally Destruction Sphere is optional when you're doing the Cloister of Trials. Like, the only reason you get it is to get that treasure, but you actually need the Destruction Sphere for some bizarre reason to finish this one. So I don't know what the deal is with that. You end up getting it. Like, just par for the course, you end up getting it. Okay, so now we're finished with level 1, pretty much. All we need to do now is go down to level 2. And there's really not that much that you can do wrong here, to be honest. We go back down to rail 2. And pretty much everything we do now, we're halfway through the cloister already, pretty much. Pretty much everything we do now is going to be on this level, so I'm pretty sure we just want to go right to the end here, to be honest, because that's the exit, is it? No, see, I missed it. But the timing, sometimes the timing is off, so like you can't really... So you're like damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, pretty much. There's only like one little trick to this one as far as I remember, because as I say, it's like pretty linear, to be honest. See, look, it's not pointing to the right when I get up there. And that's what you need. You need it to be pointing to the right when you press X, or it's just going to send you right off the edge. There we go. Okay. Timing was better that time. But it's funny because this seems like it would be like the least linear Cloister of Trials, when actually, to be honest, there's like... There really isn't much of a way that you can fuck it up, really, to be honest. All you need to do is like put the balls in the holes, that's all, really. So I think, yeah, there we go. But I think what we need here is there's like a hole here, but normally when you see like these things, like any patterns or stuff like that on it, the Bevelle sphere isn't really going to do much about it. Well, all the Bevelle sphere does really is make those like tracks in the floor, isn't it? Like that's the whole point of it. Like normally when you get those, like when you get the sphere that's named after the place, it has like a specific function. Like, I don't know, like, do you remember, like, in the Kilika Cloister of Trials, the whole point of, like, the Kilika spheres was to create fire, the whole point of the Jose spheres was to create electricity. No. I'm trying to get into that third one, because I'm pretty sure the second one is the way to the exit. And I don't want to go to the exit yet. I don't want to go to the exit until I have everything done. Well, I wouldn't be able to, actually. That's the thing, it's like impossible to like... It's impossible to actually finish the Cloister of Trials without getting the Destruction Sphere. But the question is whether you'll finish the Cloister of Trials and get the 2 chests. Because that's the thing, the second chest at the end, that's where you can screw things up if you don't have like a second Bevelle sphere. It's just not giving me the right timing there for some reason. Maybe if I wait for like another cycle on this one. There we go. Maybe it'll be more conducive now to me actually getting to go there. Okay. There we go. Ugh, finally. And yeah, the Bevelle spheres here, what they do is they just kind of like make those rails appear where there weren't rails there before. Take Patty. Pretty much. The glyph sphere, that's what I wanted. Stick this in here, just put the balls in the holes. So yeah, this is pretty time consuming, I guess. We're already up to 10 minutes, but mostly it's just to do with the fact that the timing isn't allowing me to like get to where I need to go, so... The one thing, like, as I say, there are like those 2 chests, and I don't know whether you need both of them, because there's a reason we're like getting so hung up on like there's a reason I'm so hung up on getting all of these chests, you know. It's not for like the good of my health, and the reason for it is because that's how you unlock something like really, 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 really good, is by getting all of the Destruction Sphere chests. So I don't want to miss out on one, but I don't know whether you actually need to get the 2 chests in this one, or just one of them. And if it's just one of them, I don't know which one it is, so I'd prefer to just make sure I get to 2 of them rather than screwing myself over. Because that's another thing that's technically, like, missable. Is, like, if you don't get all of the chests here, especially in Bevelle, like, theoretically you could probably go back to the other temples, or the other Cloister of Trials, or whatever. Theoretically you could probably go back to them. And get them after the fact, but you're not going to be able to go back to Bevelle ever again. And that's why that, like, I never mentioned it, but that Albed primer that I got right after the wedding scene, like, that's actually missable as well. So all of the missable, like, all 4 of the missable Albed primers, the 3 that are in Home, and the 1 that's there in Bevelle, they're all in a row, so... Yeah, so this is our destruction sphere, and we actually need to get this to finish the game. Well, technically, yeah, to finish the game, but to finish this Cloister of Trials. So yeah, you better make damn sure that you get that chest if you want to unlock the amazing thing. And this amazing thing that I'm talking about, it really is an amazing thing. Like, you really don't want to miss it, so... That's why I'm going to all this trouble. It's like this LP is just kind of like a halfway house, isn't it, really? Between, like... Because there are, like, some things that I'm making sure to get everything, but on the other hand, I'm doing it all casual-like, because it's like, who needs blitzball in their life? And really and truly, like, the only reason that I'm not doing this LP to 100% is just because of how irritating some of the things are that you have to do in order to get 100%. It's like, I really just don't have the patience for doing butterfly games and riding chocobos and things like that. I'll probably do some of the chocobo riding just to get access to the Remiem Temple or whatever, because you have to do some chocobo riding in order to do that. Yeah, see, now that's what'll open up the path. So that's pretty much the path we need to take to get to the end. But there's one more thing I need to do just before I forget it. Like, technically you could just go right up to the end now, but when it came to getting that second chest, you wouldn't be able to get it, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back here to the last exit off of this second rail. Just to make sure I'm able to get to that second chest. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I would love to be doing, like, this LP to 100%, but it's just, it's not gonna happen. I know I wouldn't enjoy it, so I'm not going to put myself through, like, LPing something that I'm not enjoying doing just for the sake of completion. Like, I've never been that sort of player. Like, there are some people that just love the grinding and love the misery and love the forcing themselves to do things for the sake of completionism in any video game, and I've just never been like that. Like, the second a game stops being enjoyable to play, I just do exactly that, and I just stop playing it, you know. The second tedium outstrips challenge, or challenge becomes, like, just ridiculous and, like, not even really 100% fun, like, that's when I stop playing a game, you know. And that's why, like, in this game in Final Fantasy X, there are just some things that I've just never bothered doing, just because, like, I've tried them, but it's not fun. Like, there's no enjoyment in it for me. So I've just never bothered doing it, and that's the same story with this LP. So yeah, I know it's going to be kind of a halfway house, but really and truly, that's kind of like a freeing thing. I kind of like that. I kind of like the fact that I'm able to kind of, like, pick and choose what I want to do with this LP. It's like, okay, well, I want to do this. I want to go to this optional area, but it's not because I feel like I have to, it's because I want to. And there are quite a lot of optional areas in this game, which I'm totally going to go to just because they're cool. Like the Cavern of the Stolen Faith, like, that's just a cool area. Of course I'm going to go there. I'm not going to pass up the chance to go there, especially because there's, like, such interesting, like, story stuff that happens there as well, you know. So of course I'm going to go there. But Oh yeah, so basically we run up to the top here again. And this is one of the chests. And like, see, that one makes the symbol. So I presume that's the one that's really important, because that one makes, like, usually when you get those chests from like the destruction spheres, it makes like that weird symbol inside in the chest when you get the treasure. And it makes that kind of like little jingle. So I presume that's the important one, but there's also this chest over here. And this is the one that's technically missable, because I don't think you can miss that other one. But I'm not sure whether this one counts towards like the goal of getting all of the destruction sphere chests or whatever. To be honest, I don't think it does. But I'm not sure, so I just prefer to get it, you know? It's not that much extra effort. All you have to do is make sure, and it's like some weapon for Kamari. I don't think it's even as good as his current one, because it doesn't have piercing on it. But all you have to do is make sure you have that second Bevelle sphere and you're good to go, so. And that's the Bevelle Cloister Trials. Actually not as complex as people give it credit for.
Yuna? Inside, maybe? Then what are we standing here for?
Well, sometimes they spend like days in there, don't they? Weren't they talking about how sometimes they spend days praying to the faith or whatever?
Hey! You can stuff your taboos!
I don't think Waka even really believes in any of that shit anymore. He's just hanging on to it. And Joe, everyone else is starting to see sense now as well. They're like, you know what? I've been making deals and I keep losing them. And I don't want to make deals no more. That's pretty much what it is. So everyone else is like, you know what? Screw the teachings. Screw Yevon. The only thing we care about is Yuna. Even Kamari's getting in on it, you know. Waka will take the longest to convince. Riku is the most practical. She's just like, yeah, well, I don't care. Hey, it's that kid. That kid we keep seeing everywhere. I think, anyway.
What's that?
A faith.
Jeez, Oren's in here now all of a sudden.
And together receive the Aeon. They are human souls, imprisoned in stone by ancient Yevon rites. The dead should be allowed to rest.
Yuna!
Wait! Don't come out!
What do they have, like a surprise birthday party planned or something? Oh no, it's the red carpet with teeth
There's
again.
the last of them.
It's Elmer Fudd.
You are to stand trial.
I expect it will be a fair trial.
Oren, you prick, I love you.
Of course it will.
And we got the almighty Bahamut. And we're going to keep him that way as well. Yeah, I'll save the current game. Actually, I think we're going to take this opportunity to end off the video. So yeah, I might as well like save here at Lucas Stadium main gate. So yeah, thank you for watching this part. I will see you next time on Let's Play Final Fantasy X. Bye now.